बिना नहीं हार एमन गौर बिना नहीं यार एमन गौर बिना नहीं यार एमन गौर बिना नहीं यार
Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Jayataha. Today, on the auspicious disappearance day of Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura, we are commencing our weekly reading of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. Haribol. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Madhukar Das, and I'm recording this right now in our Śrī Bhaman Goswami Gaudiya Math in Kolkata. So my plan for this weekly reading is to post around an hour-long recital of just the Bengali verses and translations of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata of each chapter. And I'll be posting these videos every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. India time. Then in 1.5 months from now, when Chaturmasya begins, I plan to start over from the beginning again. And in this second Chaitanya Bhagavat reading, I will also read the commentary, the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada and any other relevant words of our Guru Varga. And that reading, I'll be doing the remaining 6 days of the week. So this first Sunday reading that we're now beginning is more brief, without any commentary, and it's for getting a bird's eye view, getting the flow of the story. And the future second Chaitanya Bhagavat reading will be for going deeper and delving into the explanations of our Guru Varga. If you'd like to stay up to date with my plans for these readings and study groups, you can subscribe to my mailing list at vineofdevotion.com. Before we begin today's reading, I will recite a Mangalacharan and also some selected verses about the glories of Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita. Ajnānatimirandhasya Jnānanjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Shri Keshava Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vamaniti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Acharya Singharupine Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava iti namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati iti namine. Śrī Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nityananda Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayine Kalo Kalmasha Nashaya Janava Pataye Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya devi tvam nayamang charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparadha lakshay Kshiptastakama ditaranga madhye Kripa maitvam sharanam prapana Vrinde namaste charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so now we will recite some verses from Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata about the glories of Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura. I selected some verses that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada quoted in his life sketch of Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura. So this is from Adi-lila chapter 8. Ore mura loka shuno Chaitanya mangal Chaitanya mahima jate jani besakal. O fools, just read Śrī Caitanya Mangal, which later became known as Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. By reading this book, you can understand all the glories of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Veda Vyas Chaitanya Lila Vyas Vṛndāvana Das. As Vyasadeva has compiled all the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam, Ṭhākura Vṛndāvana Das has depicted the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Vṛndāvana dāsa koilo Chaitanya mangal Jahara shabane nashe sarva amangal. Ṭhākura Vṛndāvana Das has composed Śrī Caitanya Mangal. Hearing this book annihilates all misfortune. Chaitanya nitayar jate janiye mahima Jate jani Krishna bhakti siddhanter sima. By reading Śrī Caitanya Mangal, one can understand all the glories and truths of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda and come to know the ultimate conclusion of devotional service to Lord Krishna. Bhagavate jato bhakti siddhanter sar Likhiya chen inha jani koriya udhar. In Śrī Caitanya Mangal, Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura has given the conclusion and essence of devotional service by quoting the authoritative statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mangala shune jadi pashandi javan Seho Maha Vaishnava hoy tatakshan. If even a great atheist hears Śrī Caitanya Mangal, he immediately becomes a great devotee. Manushe rachite nare aiche grantha dhanya Vrindavana dasa mukhe bhakta Śrī Caitanya. The subject matter of this book is so sublime that it appears that Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu has personally spoken through the writings of Śrī Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura. Vrindavana dasa pade koti namaskar Aiche grantha kori teho tarila sangsar. I offer millions of obeisances unto the lotus feet of Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura. No one else could write such a wonderful book for the deliverance of all fallen souls. Narayani Chaitanyer Uchishta Bhajan Tar garbhe janmila Śrī dāsa Vṛndāvana. Narayani eternally eats the remnants of the food of Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu. Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura was born of her womb. Tar ki arbhuta Chaitanya charita varnan, jahara shravane shuddha koilo tribhuvan. What a wonderful description he has given of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Anyone in the three worlds who hears it is purified. The following verse is from Adi-lila, chapter 11. Bhāgavate Krishna lila varnila veda vyas, Chaitanya lilate vyas Vṛndāvana das. Śrīla Vyasadeva described the pastimes of Krishna in Śrīmad Bhagavatam. The Vyas of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Vrindavan Das. And now this verse is from the Adi-lila, chapter 13. Sahaje vichitra madhur Chaitanya vihar, Vṛndāvana dāsa mukhe amriter dhar. By nature, all the activities of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet. And when they are described by Vrindavan Das Ṭhākura, they become like a shower of nectar. So now we will begin chapter 1 of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. And we're reading the version translated by Bhumipati Prabhu, edited and published by Pundarik Vidyanidhi Das, by Vraj Press. And this first chapter is called Gaura Lila Sutra, which means, let's see, a summary of Lord Gaura's pastimes, Gaura Lila Sutra. But what we're reading today, as I mentioned before, is just the glories, the Mangalacharan, and then the glories of Nityananda Prabhu, Baladev, Sankarshan, Anantashesh. And then in the next reading, we will begin reading the Gaura Lila Sutra, summary of Lord Gaura's pastimes. Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, Ādi-khaṇḍa, Text 1. Ajanulambhita bhujo kanakavadato, Sankirtanaika pitaro kamalaya taksho, Vishvambharo dvijavaro yugadharma palo, Vande jagat priyakaro karunavataro. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Śrī Nityananda Prabhu, whose arms extend down to their knees, who have golden yellow complexions, and who have inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Their eyes resemble the petals of a lotus flower. They are the maintainers of the living entities, the best of the Brahmanas, the protectors of religious principles for this age, the benefactors of the universe, and the most merciful of all incarnations. Namastrikala satyaya Jagannatha sutaya cha Sabhrityaya saputraya Sakalatrayate namaha. O my Lord, you are eternally existing in the past, present, and future. Yet, you are the son of Sri Jagannath Mishra. I offer my repeated obeisances unto you, along with your associates, your devotee servants, your sons, your Goswami disciples, or the processes of devotional service such as the congregational chanting of the holy name, and your consorts, who, according to regulative principles, refer to Vishnu Priya, who is Bhu Shakti, Lakshmi Priya, who is Shri Shakti, and Navadip, which is Nila, Lila, or Durga, and according to devotional principles, refer to the two Gadadhars, Narahari, Ramananda, Jagadananda, and others. Avatirno sakarunyo, parichino sadishvaro, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando dho bhrataro bhaje. I worship the two brothers, Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Shri Nityananda, who have descended in this world as the supreme controllers. They have appeared in covered forms as the embodiments of mercy. sajayati vishuddha vikrama kanakabha kamalayate kshana varajanu vilambisharbhujo bahudha bhakti rasabhinartaka. All glories to Śrī Gaurasundar, whose powerful activities are supremely pure, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, whose eyes are like lotus petals, whose 6 beautiful arms extend to his knees, and whose heart is inundated by loving devotional sentiments as he enjoys dancing in various ways during kirtan. Jayati Jayati Deva Krishna Chaitanya Chandra Jayati Jayati Kirtis Tasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Bhrityas Tasya Vishvesha Murter Jayati Jayati Nrityam Tasya Sarvam Priyanam. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra, who is the fully independent Supreme Personality of Godhead and the abode of transcendental pastimes. All glories to his eternally pure activities. Śrī Gaurasundar is the controller of all other controllers, the Lord of the universe, and the embodiment of transcendental knowledge. All glories to his devotees, and all glories to the dancing of his beloved associates. Ādi Śrī Caitanya Priya Goshtira Charane Ashesha Prakare Mor Danda Paraname. In the beginning, I offer unlimited obeisances to the feet of the loving, confidential devotees of Śrī Caitanya. Tabe Vando Śrī Krishna Caitanya Maheshwar Navadvipe Avatar Nama Vishvambhar. I then offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Śrī Krishna Caitanya. He incarnated in Navadvip, and he is known as Vishvambar. Amar Bhakter Puja Ama Hoite Boro She Prabhu Vede Bhagavate Koila Dara. That same Supreme Personality of Godhead has declared in the Vedas and Śrīmad Bhagavatam, worship of my devotees is superior to worship of me. And now Śrīla Vṛndāvana Ṭhākura gives the verse that he quoted from Śrīmad Bhagavatam 11:19-21. Mar bhakta pujabhyadhika sarva bhuteshu manmati. Worshipping my devotees is better than directly worshipping me. Eteke korilo age bhaktera vandan atayeva ache karya siddhir lakshan. I have therefore offered my prayers first to the devotees, as this is the secret for attaining perfection. Ishtadeva Vando Mor Nityananda Rai Chaitanya Kirti Spure Jahar Kripai. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Nityananda Rai, for he is my worshipable Lord. By his mercy, the glories of Lord Chaitanya become manifest. Sahasra Vandana Vando Prabhu Balaram Jahara Sahasra Mukhe Krishna Yashodham. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 1,000-headed Lord Balaram. His thousands of mouths are the abode of Lord Krishna's transcendental glories. Maharatna tui jeno mahapriyastane Jashoratna bhandara shri ananta vadane. Lord Ananta's mouths are the storehouse of the gem-like glories of Lord Krishna, for valuable jewels are kept in a most appropriate place. Atayeva age bala ramer stavan korile she mukhe spure chaitanya kirtan. Therefore, In the beginning, I offer my prayers to Lord Balaram so that the glories of Lord Chaitanya will manifest from my mouth. Sahasreka Phanadhar Prabhu Balaram Jate Kakaroye Prabhu Shakal Udam. Lord Balaram has thousands of hoods, and all of his activities are extraordinary. Haladhara Mahaprabhu Prakanda Sharir Chaitanya Chandrera Jasho Matta Mahadhir. The Supreme Lord Balaram carries a plough and possesses a gigantic body. Although he is exceptionally grave, he is intoxicated by the glories of Lord Chaitanya. Tatodhika Chaitanyer Priya Nahi Ar Niravadishe Dehe Korena Vihar. There is no one more dear to Lord Chaitanya than Nityananda. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya always enjoys pastimes within him. Tahara charitra jeba jane shune gai Shri Krishna Chaitanya tare paramasahai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya is most satisfied with one who chants or hears the characteristics of Lord Nityananda. Mahaprita hoy tare Mahesha Parvati Jivai spuraye tar Shuddha Saraswati. Lord Shiva and Parvati also become pleased with such a person, and the transcendental goddess of learning, Saraswati, manifests on his tongue. Parvati prabhriti navar buddha nari loya Sankarshana puje Shiva upasaka hoya. Along with Parvati and innumerable maidservants, Lord Shiva engages in the worship of Sankarshan. Pancha Skandir e Bhagavata Katha Sarva Vaishnavir Bandhya Balarama Gatha. The topics in the 5th canto of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam concerning Lord Balaram, the original Sankarshan, are glorified by all Vaishnavas. Dāna rasa krida katha parama udhar Vṛndāvane gopisane korila vihar. The narrations of Lord Balaram's Raslila pastimes with the gopis in Vrindavan are most exalted. Dui masa vasanta madhava madhuname Halayuda rasa krida kahaye purane. The Puranas describe how Lord Balaram performs his Raslila in the 2 months of spring, Madhav and Madhu. Sheshakala shloka e shuno bhagavate Shishuka kohen shune raja parikshite. Now please hear those verses that were spoken by Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. This is from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 65, Verse 17. Dvomaso tatra chavatsin madhung madhavameva cha Ramaksha pasu bhagavan gopinam ratimavahan. Lord Balaram, the personality of Godhead, resided there for the 2 months of Madhu and Madhav, and during the nights he gave his cowherd girlfriends conjugal pleasure. Same chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, verse 18. Purna chandra kalamrishte komudi gandhavayuna yamuno pavane reme sevite stri kanarvrita. In the company of numerous women, Lord Balaram enjoyed in a garden by the Yamuna river. This garden was bathed in the rays of the full moon and caressed by breezes bearing the fragrance of night-blooming lotuses. Again, same chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, verses 21 to 22. Upagiya mano gandharvair vanita shobhimandale reme karena yutesho Mahendra eva varana ne durdundu bhayo vyomni vavrishu kusumar muda Gandharva munayo ramam tarviryar idire tada. As the Gandharvas sang his glories, Lord Balaram enjoyed within the brilliant circle of young women. He appeared just like Indra's elephant, the lordly Airavat, enjoying in the company of she-elephants. At that time, kettle drums resounded in the sky, the Gandharvas joyfully rained down flowers, and the great sages praised Lord Balaram's heroic deeds. Jai Stri Sangha Muni Gane Kore Nindan Tara o Ramer Rase Kore Instavan. Sages condemn the association of women, yet they glorify Lord Balaram's association with the cowherd girls in the rasa dance. Jahan rase deve asi pushpa vrishti kore Deve jane bheda nahi Krishna hala dhare. The demigods came and showered flowers on his Ras Leela, because they know there is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. Chari vede gupta bala ramera charita Amiki bolibosa purane vidita. The characteristics of Lord Balaram are confidential to the Vedas, but they are elaborated in the Puranas. What will I describe? Murka doshe keho na deki Puran Balarama rasa krida kore apraman. Due to foolishness, some people neglect the Puranas and refuse to accept the authenticity of Balaram's Ras Leela. Ekathai dui bhai kopika samaje korilen rasa krida Vṛndāvana maje. The two brothers, Krishna and Balaram, both performed Ras Krida pastimes in the company of the gopis at the same place in Vrindavan. Now this is a quote from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 34, verses 20 to 23. Kadachir atago vindo ramaschar bhutta vikrama vijahratur vane ratram madhyago vrajayoshitam. Once Lord Govinda and Lord Ram, the performers of wonderful feats, were playing holy in the forest at night with the young girls of Vraj. And so these are the next verses, verse 21, 22, and 23. Upagiya mano lalitam stri janar baddaso hridai swalankrita nuliptango sragvino virajom bharo. Krishna and Balaram wore flower garlands and spotless garments, and their limbs were beautifully decorated and anointed. The women sang their glories in a charming way, bound to them by affection. Nishamukam manayantav udito dupaktarakam malika gandamatali jushtam kumudavayuna. The two lords praised the nightfall, signaled by the rising of the moon and the appearance of stars, a lotus-scented breeze, and bees intoxicated by the fragrance of jasmine flowers. Jagatu sarvabhutanam manashavana mangalam to kalpayanto yugapat swaramandala murchitam. Krishna and Balaram sang, producing the entire range of musical sounds simultaneously. Their singing brought happiness to the ears and minds of all living beings. Bhāgavata shuni jara rame nahi prita Vishnu Vaishnaver pate shejan varjita. One who has no love for Lord Balaram after hearing the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is rejected by both the Lord and his devotees. Bhāgavata jenamane sejavana sama Tara shasta ache janme janme prabhu jama. One who does not accept Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is no better than a Yavan, and Lord Yamaraj punishes him birth after birth. Ebe keho napungsaka veshe nache, bole bala rama rasa kona shastre ache. Nowadays, some faithless persons, eunuchs, napungsak, they challenge, in which scripture is Balaram's Raslila described? Kona papi shastra dekhi leho nahi mane, eka arte anya artha koriya vakhane. Some sinful persons do not accept this pastime, even if they read about it in the scriptures. They distort the actual meaning of the scriptures into some other meaning. Chaitanya Chandrera Priya Vigraha Balai, Tanastane Aparadhe More Sarva Thai. Lord Nityananda is the dearmost object of Śrī Caitanya-Chandra. Therefore, anyone who commits an offense at his lotus feet is vanquished. Murti bhede apane hoyen prabhudas, se sabala khana avatare prakash. Lord Balaram appears in various forms as a servant of the Lord. He manifests these symptoms in his various incarnations. Sakha bhai vyanjana shayana avahan, griha chhatra vastra jato bhushana asan. Lord Balaram serves Krishna in 10 different ways: as his friend, brother, fan, bed, carrier, residence, umbrella, garments, ornaments, and sitting place. Apane shakala rupe sevena apane, jare anugraha koren paishe jane. In all these forms, he serves himself. Whoever receives his mercy can understand this truth. And now here is a verse from Stotra Ratna, verse 37. Nivasa shayasana padukang shuko, padhana varshat tapavaranadhibhi, sharira bhedaistava sheshatam gatair, yato chitam shesha itirite janai. O my Lord, when will I satisfy you and Lakshmi, who are both seated on the bed of Ananta? Although he is your transcendental personal expansion, he has accepted your service in the form of your residence, bed, sitting place, slippers, garments, pillow, and umbrella. Therefore, he is appropriately known by people as Shesh. Ananter angsha Śrī Garuda Mahabali, Lilai Balaye Krishne Hoya Kutuhali. The most powerful Śrī Garuda, the expansion of Anantadev, enjoys his pastimes as Krishna's carrier. Ki Brahma ki Shiva ki Sanakadi Kumar, Vyasa Shuka Naradadi Bhakta Nama Jar. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the 4 Kumaras, Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumar, Vyasadev, Shukadev Goswami, and Narad are all pure devotees, eternal servants of the Lord. Sabara Pujita Śrī Ananta Mahashai, Sahasra Vadana Prabhu Bhakti Rasamai. Lord Śrī Ananta is worshipped by all the uncontaminated devotees mentioned above. He has thousands of hoods and is the reservoir of all devotional service. Ādi-deva Mahayogi Ishvara Vaishnava, Mahimar Anta Iha Na Janaye Sava. Lord Ananta is the first incarnation of the Lord and the master of all mystic power. At the same time, he is the servant of God, a Vaishnav. Since there is no end to his glories, no one can understand him fully. Sevana shunila ebe shuno Ṭhākuralo, Atma tantre jeno mate boisena patala. I have already spoken to you of Anantadev's influential service to the Lord. Now hear how the self-sufficient Ananta exists in the lower planetary system of Patala. Śrī Narada Goṣāy tumburu kori sange, she Josha gayen Brahma sthane shloka bandhe. Bearing his stringed instrument, the tamburu, on his shoulders, the great sage Narad Muni always glorifies Lord Ananta in Brahma's assembly. Narad Muni has composed many transcendental verses in praise of the Lord. So now we'll go through 5 verses of Narad Muni's glorification of Śrī Anantadev in Brahma's assembly. This is Śrīmad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 25, verses 9 to 13. And this is in the meter called Praharshini. Utpatti stitilaya hetavosya kalpa satvadya prakriti guna yadikshayasan yadrupam dhruvamakritam yadekamatman nanadhat katam uhave datasya vartma. By his glance, the Supreme Personality of Godhead enables the modes of material nature to act as the causes of universal creation, maintenance, and destruction. The Supreme Soul is unlimited and beginningless, and although he is one, he has manifested himself in many forms. How can human society understand the ways of the Supreme? Murtim na purukripaya babhara sattvam sangshuddhang sarasadidang vibhati tatra yalilam mrigapatiradadhena vadyang adatung svajanamanang syudara virya. This manifestation of subtle and gross matter exists within the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Out of causeless mercy toward his devotees, he exhibits various forms which are all transcendental. The Supreme Lord is most liberal, and he possesses all mystic power. To conquer the minds of his devotees and give pleasure to their hearts, he appears in different incarnations and manifests many pastimes. Yannama shutamanukirtaye rakasmar arto va yadipatitaha pralampanadva hantyam ha sapadinirnama sheshamanyam kang sheshar bhagavata ashrayen mamukshuhu. Even if he be distressed or degraded, any person who chants the holy name of the Lord, having heard it from a bona fide spiritual master, is immediately purified. Even if he chants the Lord's name jokingly or by chance, he and anyone who hears him are freed from all sins. Therefore, how can anyone seeking disentanglement from the material clutches avoid chanting the name of Lord Shesh? Of whom else should one take shelter? Murdhanyarpitamanuvat sahasramurdhno bhugolam sagirisarit samudra sattvam anantyad animita vikramasya bhumna koviryan yadikanayet sahasrajivaha. Because the Lord is unlimited, no one can estimate his power. This entire universe, filled with its many great mountains, rivers, oceans, trees, and living entities, is resting just like an atom on one of his many thousands of hoods. Is there anyone, even with thousands of tongues, who can describe his glories? Evam prabhavo bhagavan ananto duranta viryoru gunanubhava mule rasaya stita atmatantro yoli layakshmam stitaye bibharti. There is no end to the great and glorious qualities of that powerful Lord Anantadev. Indeed, his prowess is unlimited. Though self-sufficient, He himself is the support of everything. He resides beneath the lower planetary systems and easily sustains the entire universe. We went through 5 verses of Narad Muni's glorification, and this is his translation for the first verse from Śrīmad Bhagavatam. The first of these 5 verses, I mean. Shrishti stiti pralaya satvadi jato guna jara drishte pate hoy jai puna puna. Simply due to the glance of Lord Ananta, the 3 material modes of nature interact and produce creation, maintenance, and annihilation. These modes of nature appear again and again. Advitiya rupa satya anadi mahatva tatapi ananta hoy ke bhuje se tattva. The Lord is glorified as one without a second, and as the supreme truth who has no beginning. Therefore, he is called Anantadev, unlimited. Who can understand his ways? Now, this and the next verse is Vrindavan Das Thakur's translation of the second of Narad Muni's glorifications of Anantadev. Shuddha sattva murti prabhu dharena karunai je vigrahe sabara prakasha sulilai. His form is completely spiritual, and he manifests it only by his mercy. All the activities in this material world are conducted within his form. Jaharata ranga shiki singha mahabali nirja jana manoranje hoya kutuhali. He is very powerful and always prepared to please his personal associates and devotees with waves of pastimes. And now Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Thakur's translation of Narad Muni's third verse of glorification. Je ananta namir shabana sankirtane jete mate kene nahi bole jete jane ashesha janmera bandha chinde she khane Atayeva Vaishnava na charen kabutane. If we simply tried to engage in the congregational chanting of the glories of Lord Anantadev, the dirty things in our hearts, accumulated during many births, will immediately be washed away. Therefore, a Vaishnav never misses the opportunity to glorify Anantadev. Sheshabai sangsarera gat nahi ar ananter name sarva jiver udar. Lord Anantadev is known as Shesh, the unlimited end, because he alone ends our passage through this material world. By chanting his glories, everyone can be liberated. Now Vrindavan Das Thakur's translation for the 4th verse. Ananta prithvi giri samudra sahite je prabhu dharena shire palana korite. On his head, Anantadev sustains the entire universe with its millions of planets containing enormous oceans and mountains. Sahasra panar eka pane bindu jeno ananta vikramana janena acheheno. He is so large and powerful that this universe rests on one of his hoods, just like a mustard seed. Indeed, he does not know where it is. So now we're done with the translations for the first 4 verses, and the translation for the 5th of Narad Muni's glorifications, the 5th verse, will come later on. Sahasra vadane Krishna jasha nirantar gaite achena adi deva mahidhara. While bearing the universe on one of his hoods, Anantadev chants the glories of Krishna with each of his thousands of mouths. Gayen ananta shija shera nahi anta jaya bhanga nahi karu donhe balavanta. Although he has been chanting the glories of Lord Krishna since time immemorial, he has still not come to their end. Both are unconquerable. Adyapiha Shesha Deva Sahasra Shrimukhe Gayena Chaitanya Jasha Antanahi Dekhe. To this very day, Lord Ananta continues to chant the glories of Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu, and still he finds no ends to them. Ki are Ramagopale Vadalagi Ache Brahmarudra Shura Siddhamunishwar Anande Dekiche. How wonderful is the competition between Balaram and Krishna! Brahma and Shiva, along with the demigods, Siddhas and Munis, watch in great happiness. Lag boli choli jai sindhu tori bare, Jasher sindhu na de kul, adhik bare. Although Sri Ananta tries to reach the shore of the ocean of Krishna's qualities, he is unable to do so, for the ocean is continually expanding. And now comes a verse from Śrīmad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, verse 41, and the Vasanta Tilaka meter. Nantam vidamyahamami munayo grajaste maya balasya purushasya kuto varaye gayan gunan dashashatanana adideva sheshodhunapi samavasyati nasya para. Neither I nor all the sages born before you know fully the omnipotent personality of Godhead. So what can others who are born after us know about him? Even the first incarnation of the Lord, namely Shesh, has not been able to reach the limit of such knowledge, although he is describing the qualities of the Lord with 1,000 faces. And now here is Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Thakur's Bengali translation of the second half of the 5th verse of Narad Muni's glorification of Ananta. Palana nimitta henu prabhu rasatale achen mahashakti dhara nija kutuhale. The most powerful Lord Ananta Shesh happily resides in Rasatala in order to maintain the universe. Brahmarasa bhagya narada apane e guna gayen tamburu binasane. Shri Narad Muni visits the assembly of Lord Brahma and glorifies the qualities of Lord Ananta accompanied by his veena. Brahma devi vala e jasher shravane iha gai narada pujita sarva sthane. Headed by Lord Brahma, everyone is overwhelmed while hearing the Lord's glories. Narad Muni is worshipped everywhere for chanting the Lord's glories. Kohila e kichu ananta prabhav, heno prabhu nityananda koro anurag. I have thus described a portion of Lord Ananta's glories. Please, therefore, develop attachment for Lord Nityananda. Sangsarera para hoy bhaktir sagare, je dubi bhese bhajuka nitai chandere. Those who wish to cross the ocean of material existence and drown in the ocean of devotional service should worship Lord Nityananda. Vaishnava charane mor e manaskam, bhaji jeno janme janme prabhu balaram. My only desire at the feet of the Vaishnavas is that birth after birth I may worship the feet of Lord Balaram. Dvija vipra brahmana je no nama bhed, ehi mata nityananda ananta baladev. Just as Dvija, Vipra, and Brahmana are different names of the same person, Nityananda, Ananta, and Baladev are similarly different names of the same Lord. Antaryami Nityananda bolila kotuke, Chaitanya charitra kichu likhite pustake. Lord Nityananda, who is the Supersoul, joyfully instructed me to write a book on the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya charitra spure jahar kripai, Josher bandhar boise shesher jivai. By the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya will become manifest, because his tongue is the storehouse of Lord Chaitanya's glories. I accidentally broke this verse at the wrong spot, so Gainlu should be on the second line. Attaeva Jashomai Vigraha Ananta Gainlu Tahan Kichu Para Parma Dvandva. Therefore, Sri Ananta is the embodiment of Lord Chaitanya's glories. Thus, I have described a fragment of Ananta's glories. Chaitanya Chandrer Punya Shravana Charita Bhakta Prasade She Spure Jani Ho Nishchita. Hearing the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya-Chandra brings all auspiciousness, but know for certain that they are revealed only through the mercy of the devotees. Veda Guhya Chaitanya Charitra Keba Jane Tai Likhi Jaha Shuni Yachi Bhakta Stane. Who can understand the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya? They are confidential even to the Vedas. Therefore, I will write only what I have heard from the devotees. Chaitanya Charitra Adi Anta Nahi Dekhi Jeno Mata Dena Shakti Tena Mata Likhi. I do not find a beginning or end to the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya. I write whatever he inspires me. Kashter Putali Jeno Kuhoke Nachai E Mato Gaura Chandra More Je Bolai. Whatever I describe is only by the direction of Sri Gaurachandra, just as a puppet dances only by the direction of the puppeteer. Sarva Vaishnaver Paye Kori Namaskar, Ite Aparadha Kichu Nahuka Amar. Let me offer my respectful obeisances at the feet of the Vaishnavas, so that I may not commit any offenses to them. Mana diya shuno bhai Śrī Caitanya katha, Bhakta shange je je lila koila jatha jatha. My dear brother, please hear with attention the topics of Śrī Caitanya concerning the various pastimes that he performed with his devotees. Trividha Chaitanya Lila Anandera Dham Ādi-khaṇḍa Madhya-khaṇḍa Shesha-khaṇḍa Nam. The pastimes of Śrī Caitanya are the abode of all happiness. These pastimes are divided into Ādi-khaṇḍa, Madhya-khaṇḍa, and Antya-khaṇḍa. Shri Gaura Hari! So that is all for today. Next Sunday we will go through the rest of the verses in this chapter, in which Śrīla Vṛndāvana Ṭhākura gives a synopsis of all the leelas that he'll describe in the three parts of Caitanya-bhāgavata, the Ādi-khaṇḍa, the Madhya-khaṇḍa, and the Antya-khaṇḍa. So I look forward to seeing you there. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Patita Pavan Shriman Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Gaur Gadadhar Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Vihari Ju Ki Jai, Śrīla Gurudev Ki Jai, Śrīla Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Nugagoriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaura Hari Ki Jai, Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura Ki Jai, Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyaye Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradedevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams everybody. I'll see you next Sunday. Hare Krishna.